all use, but none of us know what they are, and it takes an incredible amount of time to go in and dig up what those might be. So what we do is, on a weekly basis, we basically blast out in an email, here's a new cool application that you can apply in your business in your everyday life, and again, this is another cool way to do it. So what we do with that is, when those goes out, the nice part is, again, we're posting all this stuff up on Facebook and Twitter and those types of places, and again, we've embraced our agents and brought them along in the process with us. So it's not like I'm just doing it or our marketing department's just doing it, but when things like Intero Mojo goes out, or the Intero Insider goes out, agents are posting that stuff up on their Facebook accounts, on their Twitter accounts, driving people back to it and continue to increase our traffic that way. That's basically in a nutshell, and I'll let Alex go next.
What are the chances I can do this with no technical difficulties?
Very little.
So I'll try to buy time while I fire this up. My name is Alex Chang, and I am the CEO of Roost. Before I start, I thought I'd relate a quick anecdote. So I came into San Francisco this morning on a flight out of Boston. I left Boston at 6 a.m. East Coast time, which actually 3 o'clock West Coast time. And I sent my family in Boston area, about south Boston, about an hour, and had a car service come pick me up. So this old beater Mercedes diesel 1980 comes puttering up to the house to pick me up, which is not what I had in mind when I thought I was getting my ride to the airport. That's fine. And I get in the car and I'm thinking, it's now 3:30 in the morning East Coast time, right? So 12:30 West Coast time. And I'm thinking this will be nice. I'll have a nice quiet ride. Sleep. No. Rob the limo driver. Imagine Mork or Robin Williams with a very aggressive Boston accent. 90-minute monologue from Rob about his adventures in the world of online dating, which I hear that was brought up in the Hitwise presentation this morning. And actually it's quite entertaining. He took me literally, this is not no exaggeration. I think he actually told me he had OCD. So he went for 90 minutes nonstop riffing on online dating, every site you can possibly imagine. And I was actually quite entertained, despite wanting to sleep. And the reason I bring this up is it actually does relate to my presentation, believe it or not. It occurred to me on the flight that Rob absolutely had online marketing figured out. Nailed it. Write this down. There were 2 things that he understood about online marketing that I thought were genius. Number 1, he tested a lot. Every site known to man. I'd never heard of a lot of these sites. AmericanSingles.net, Massachusetts, blah, 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 right? So he tested very aggressively. And number 2, he knew exactly what his objective was. And it's not what you were thinking. He was a good guy. He was looking to find a soulmate in his words, but he knew exactly what his objective was. And I think, Tom sort of brought this up, that's kind of the key. And as I talk to brokers and agents in our client base, I'm often surprised how much that's underlooked. So I leave us off with that story, just to keep in mind as we go. Rob the limo driver will reappear. But knowing his objective was critical. I don't know how many of you out there remember the comic strip Bloom County. I'm in my 40s. When I was a kid, I was a fan. So Bloom County, one of the lead characters' names was Bill the Cat. And Bill the Cat had a trademark saying. Does anyone remember what that was? Act. Which is pretty much what my reaction would be if I were a realtor looking at the 1,000-watt mind map of all the various ways I can market myself and my services online today. Act. There are too many. Right? I don't know how anyone can figure out all the various, and you can't read this and you're not supposed to be able to. Right? But there are just too many ways. You can go to 1000watt.com and they have this great chart. But too much stuff for you to have to parse through to figure out what's going to work for you as a broker or an agent. And you know what? This map doesn't even reflect all the broader social media stuff that's popped up, right? The video sites and the social networking sites and yada, 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 right? And this gets Bill even more exasperated. It's the full body act, right? I don't know if I were in their shoes how I would deal with it. So my goal in this quick presentation is to try to give you some kind of framework for how to figure out what's right for you. I think Rob has it right. It's about knowing what your objective is first and foremost. And again, this is undervalued. Tom made the point, and I absolutely agree. A lot of folks out there that you talk to are getting involved in online marketing because they think they should, or they see their competition doing it, but they haven't thought through what they're trying to get out of it. So, what we hear from our clients are things like, as a broker, I'm trying to reinforce my brand. Okay, this is a good objective. I'm trying to acquire customers. Also a good objective. I'm trying to get profitable transactions. I like that one a lot. I want to keep my agents happy. Listen, we all understand that dynamic, right? Agents have certain expectations about the services that you provide as a broker. That's a very legitimate reason for doing things online. I want to be seen as a thought leader. I want my company to be seen as a thought leader in the consumer's mind, the seller's mind, the buyer's mind. I want to promote our listings, right? These are specific objectives. I recommend that you